Hello, it's Leah. Welcome to Chicago. It's actually my third day here. But the first day I got in at like 5 o'clock-ish, so I just came from Union Station, straight to the hotel, checked in, pretty much didn't really do anything, ordered some Popeyes for dinner because there's not really a lot of places around here. So yesterday then I went to the hockey game at United Centre, so the Blackhawks Wild game, which you can see in there's just always noise here, it's just a city living, right? It is fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, oh yeah, so I went to the hockey yesterday, and on the way back I intended to go to, there's a pub just across the road here, I intended to go there for like to just get some dinner there, but it was closed, even though it was supposed to be open till like 7, and also longer on game days. Well, yesterday was a game day, and also it wasn't 7 o'clock, but it was closed anyway, so I came back and I got I had to get Uber Eats for dinner. Anyway, this, and you can just hear that now. Anyway, this is a cold brew that I got last night with my dinner, because you can get a drink option, but I didn't really feel like any of the soda that they had. Soda, that's right, I said soda, everyone, not soft drink. But so I thought, oh, I'll just get a cold brew and then I can have it in the morning, because I've got a full fridge here. I'll just put it in the fridge, and I got it out this morning. More than 12 hours later, still had ice in it. It's been out now for about, I don't know, what's the time? It's been out now for about an hour, and it still has a little bit of ice in it. Anyway, I'm not gonna be able to drink this whole thing. That's a big commitment to coffee that I don't have. But anyway, today I'm going to go to the museum to look at the T-Rex. But before we do that, I'll give you a little tour of the hotel. Right, let's do a room tour since I've just come back in. So you open, here's the door. You open the door and see too many jerseys, safe, mirror, a bathroom, which is, look, an acceptable size. And actually, something you might not know about American toilets if you haven't been to one is this one actually has a low water level, but quite often they got like a lagoon in there, and it's like, I don't know, 5 centimeters like from the rim is filled with water. It's like a bucket. It's crazy. And also the switches go the opposite way to where they have them do in Australia. Anyway, so you might want to know that. Have a full-size fridge, microwave, and then this is it. Yeah. Although I was looking here, this view actually is not too bad when I looked at it last night. If you can, nope, wait. There you go. There you go. It's pretty nice actually. That's the building, the big building, right? You need to look at when you come here. It was the Sears and now it's something else. Yes, this is the most basic hotel that we're going to be staying in on this trip. Look, to be fair, it's got everything you need, right? It's clean, it has a bed, and it has its own bathroom. So, you know, it's got the bare minimum, but it also has a coffee machine. The coffee machine's pretty good, and like I said, a full fridge, so that's fine. It's not too loud at night. It is not really very dark though, because there's heaps of lights on the air conditioner, and there's a little night light on the alarm clock, which I tried to turn off and I can't. And then there's another light that comes out of the bathroom, because there's a little night light in there too, which is good. I get it, right? Especially when you're staying in a strange place, it's good to have a little bit of light if you need to get up in the middle of the night or something. But it's not great for me because it's just not dark enough. Anyway, so this is really just an introduction to a little bit of Chicago until we go and do some things. Also, I talked to my mum, FaceTimed her a couple of days ago, and when she opened up the call, she went, "Oh, you're really not sleeping." So I'm sorry, this is what I look like. Tired, I'm fatigued. I'm like 20 days deep now, probably actually more than 20 days. I am tired. It's been a long time. Anyway, today I went to the Field Museum. which is a huge museum. And if you watched any of the videos from last trip to America, you know that we were on a T-Rex hunt. So we saw the ones in, nope, not in Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, definitely at the Children's Museum. Oh no, yeah, no, of course Pittsburgh, yes, because Pittsburgh have the typing specimen for the T-Rex, and Indianapolis have a cast of the Chicago T-Rex. Now, the Chicago T-Rex is called Sue. They don't know whether Sue is male or female. Sue is named after the discoverer of the T-Rex. So Sue is the biggest and most complete T-Rex ever discovered. Anyway, it was like, oh man, and it was actually, you know what, I've 100% jumped ahead here. So first of all, actually, when I get to the museum, it's solar eclipse day, everyone. So I get to there and I see everybody's out on the steps, which is so fun, right? Because everybody wants to experience this thing that's happening. But they've also got these things to look through, or glasses, and I don't have either of those. I go into the gift shop, I'm like, oh hey, do you have glasses? She's like, no, we don't have any of the little goggles to watch it. And then this other guy comes in, he's pretty mad they don't have them. And she's like, well, we didn't have them because the planetarium, which is literally just up the road, was giving them away for free. Why would we be selling them? And he's like, well, now people can't watch it or they're gonna hurt their eyes looking at it. It's not really her fault. She doesn't make a decision about what they sell there. Anyway, I go out, try to watch it a bit through my phone, so that, you know, I don't burn my eyeballs out. Anyway, what I see is what just looks like a very bright sun. I can't see anything, right? Obviously, I can't. I don't know what I can't see either, because I can't see anything. But I see it, I hear it all happening. And everyone's counting down. It's like a minute, and then it happens. And when the actual full eclipse happens, everyone claps. They clap. I don't know if somebody was like started clapping, like, and then they're like, yeah, the sun, and then then they're clapping the sun. Anyway, I was like, hey, why not? The sun is doing its thing. But when it finished, like as soon as it moved, like just marginally off of dead center, this family like, all right, we're out of here. And then the dad goes to me, he's like, oh, hey, do you want some glasses? I'm like, yes, please. Anyway, here they are. I actually can't see through these at all now. You need to be looking at something very bright to see through them. They're so dark. And when I did get to see through it, I saw this very tiny slither of, I don't know if it was the moon or the sun in the back. Oh, it must have been the sun, dickhead. The sun would not have come. The sun would not have suddenly come in front of the moon. Oh my god. Look, in my defense, I thought the eclipse was at night, because when people had talked to me about it before, they were like, hey, don't forget the eclipse. Nobody had mentioned to me it was a daytime one, alright? Also, I know that it doesn't explain the fact that obviously the sun didn't come in front of the moon, you fucking moron. Anyway, so I don't know where these ones came from, whether they come from the planetarium or not. Anyway, I got to see it. I got to watch a little bit of it. And because I'd got to see it and notice it was significantly different, I said to a guy who was standing next to me who also had nothing, I was watching through his phone, I was like, hey, you want to have a look through here too? And he's like, oh yeah. So then I was like, you can just see the slither, right? He's like, oh yeah, excellent. Anyway, so I saw on the steps of the Field Museum the solar eclipse just after it had fully eclipsed, not before. Well, you know what, actually no, I did see it during the full eclipse. I just couldn't see what I was seeing because it just looked like a very bright shiny spot. So I saw it the same way that anybody that looked at the sky would have seen it. But just afterwards I started to see
thing. Anyway, it was pretty great. It was pretty exciting, just because, you know, when people are just excited about a group thing that's happening. Anyway, that's what happened. So then after that, go into the museum, go and watch a movie about just like uncovering the T-Rex. It's a 3D movie, so I get to wear different glasses this time. Couldn't keep those ones, obviously. They're like those polarized ones. And then I watched that video, and then I make my way up to the top floor to see Sue, the dinosaur. But before you go through that, you have to go through this whole like thing around like very early life, blah blah blah, dinosaurs and just around the corner, dinosaurs around the corner, dinosaurs around the corner. Anyway, so it's very good, and it's a great way to introduce all the different time eras and all of that, right? But for me on this particular day, I was like, I want to see the dinosaurs, please, not the little fossils, not the evolution of life, interesting as it is, but today, not today. Today I just want the big boys. Anyway, so you go through, you go to this hallway then, and it's so good, right? It's really, there's these great murals on the wall, and then there's like, it's a really nice space, like really visual. Look, or actually the whole place is visually quite interesting. You see one and go like, oh, that's not the T-Rex, is it? No, it's the T-Rex's little cousin. Anyway, still, I'll tell you what though, still absolutely chompy. And then you go around again. Also, by the way, just before you even go in anywhere, you will see a massive dinosaur, because there's one right in the foyer. The foyer part of the museum is enormous, and it has like 2 dinosaurs and a couple of big elephants in it. Like, it's massive. Anyway, so you go look at all that, and then you come in, and then you get ready to go to see Sue. She's in her own room. And when you go into the thing, they're like, oh, you do a green screen here. And I was like, oh, okay. I think, you know, like I realised I'd have to pay for them, because you got a little voucher thingy, and you'd have to pay for them. But anyway, I just take the photo, because I think, oh, you know what, if it's not too much, I'll get them anyway, just for a bit of holiday fun. Anyway, then you go in around, and you see Sue's actual skull, which is separate from the head, because people look at, like, scientists want to study the head so much that having it attached to the rest of the skeleton is not really practical, right? Because you'd have to keep like moving, like quite this thing. The other thing is, and we didn't know this because you don't see this when you see the cast of it, is that the actual fossil is a bit deformed, like in the way that it was created. So her head is like whoop. Yeah, but you don't know that, because the head that's on the skeleton and then on the cast of that skeleton has been remodeled to look like what it would have looked like before that process happened. Yeah, I didn't know that till today. That was one thing I learned. Anyway, then you go in there, and the room is like, done a really good job of staging it. They know that this is the main attraction. I mean, this is it, right? This is the big show.
This is Sue, the biggest and most complete T-Rex found so far. She's 90% complete and like 40 foot long.
Yeah, so I was pretty excited. I was pretty happy to see her. I was sitting in that room, just sat there and looked at her for a little while. And again, even though nobody knows what the sex of the dinosaur is, she's still called a she, because her name is Sue. I know, although when I was watching the 3D video, I was thinking about, what if she is a boy? And then I was thinking about Johnny Cash, you know, because life's not easy for a boy named Sue. Anyway, so I stay there for a while, look at the different bits around her. You can feel like what T-Rex skin, the pattern of that would have been like. And then there's a thing where you can smell the T-Rex's breath. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, I did not get a good whiff of it, but it was not good. Of course I did. I'm cheap juvenile. Anyway, then you go back around in the loop, and I come out and then to see the photo. Anyway, it's 35 American dollars. There's like a print. There's 4 prints, and then you can get the like the digital print of them. But it's 35 American dollars. That's like at the current exchange rate, it's like 60 Australian dollars. Anyway, I was like, look, I didn't know it was going to be that much, and really I should tell people how much it is, and then we wouldn't waste your time. She's like, well, if you change your mind, you can download it. So maybe if you just get a digital copy, it's a little bit less, but I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, then I go back through. There's more big skeletons in here. There's like after you've gone through the dinosaur part, then there's like some megafauna and a replica model of Lucy, the Australopithecus Lucy, and then, you know, difference between Neanderthal and Homo sapien, that type of stuff. Anyway, it's really interesting, and it's really good. Like, you don't, when you first come in that hall, but even though the hall is so massive, it makes you think, well, where is everything? Well, it's all off in the wings, and the wings are enormous. Anyway, so after I looked at that, where did I go next? I went to the Native Voices exhibition after that, and that was a good exhibition. This one again has done like what they did in the Minnesota one, where they ask like Native people, what do you think about this? And they say to them, oh, they're pretty honest in their feedback. Like, why shouldn't we come to museums? It's like, this is our stuff, you took it from us, we have every right to come and look at it. And it doesn't seem, well, I mean, it could be censored by the museum, how would I know? But it's like, they're pretty negative in some of the commentary, like rightfully so, but they still publish it, so that's pretty good. You get to the end of it, and then there's like a corridor running like perpendicular to it, and this one has some artwork in it, and it also has like a thing that says Spirit World in it, but there's also bits that are blocked off, like have been, like the exhibition is sealed, you can't see what's in it. It's because those artifacts are in dispute around ownership, repatriation. But that, oh wait, give me the creeps, to be honest. I kind of stood where you first go in, and then, you know, took that photo, obviously showing where it's closed off, and then I turned one way to look, and then I was like, nah, you know what, I don't like it in here, it's creepy. Something about it gave me the creeps. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was that idea about that we're looking at things we shouldn't be looking at, or I don't know. Anyway, I didn't like it. It's a bit like when I see the Egyptian stuff, I don't like to go in there either. I was like, oh, see you later. Anyway, I hot-footed it out of there. I didn't want to stay. Also as well, like, it was dark. Not like dark, but dark enough. And then I went to the Pacific exhibition, which was interesting.
It looks like you're missing a little place here, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty big, right? Like, it's, again, the exhibition are very, very big, and they're winding, and you go through, and you know what I mean, you're looking at every part of it. And this one, because it's the Pacific, really, it's covering off a lot of different countries, a lot of different groups, but it was, look, it's interesting, but yeah, I don't know, I always have a mixed feeling anyway when I look at Pacific exhibits. Obviously I just feel like some places are underrepresented, but I also feel like some ideas about people are overrepresented. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is a traditional role and this is a traditional role, but is it a traditional role? And also, how important are traditional roles when you're explaining them like this? Anyway, it was good. Again, these are my questions. These aren't expressly related to the exhibition. That's what I think about when I'm walking through them.
This is not what I expected to see when I came here today looking for Sue.
Kia ora. Welcome to Rua Tepa Phuket, a Maori meeting house. Out of respect, please take your shoes off.
Anyway, it was a good museum, and if you have a passing interest in the T-Rex, who doesn't? Then you should absolutely go and have a look at it. Yeah, I don't know if you need to watch the 3D movie, to be honest. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't like... Also, because you're not from Chicago, you're going to have to pay more to go to the museum anyway, so maybe you don't want to pay extra to go and watch the movie. Fortunately, you won't get to see the eclipse though, because that's done. It's done and dusted. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I picked a place because of its location to the United Centre because, you know, if I was going to be going to games at night time, I didn't want to be walking back too far on my own, and I also didn't want to be stuck waiting for Ubers and taxis. That happened to us a couple of times last year. It was weird. Couldn't find it and you didn't know where to go. But there's not a lot to do in this immediate area. And one of the nice things to do when you're in a place, right, is to just go out for a walk, find out what's around you, see what's around you, look at local. But it just doesn't feel like there's a lot here. And now I don't know where to go. Like, it's been pretty easy. When I was in Denver, I was in downtown, right? So I just went downtown. I just went outside and found things to do because they were like right there. And it was the same thing in Omaha. I was staying in, that's Old Town, I think, Old Market. I'm in Old Market, literally. Just go down, there it is. And then, really it was the same thing in St. Paul. I was in downtown there. I don't know where to go here. I'm a little bit mad at myself for not doing better research about things to do in Chicago. I know that there's a million things to do here. What I'm saying is I don't know what to do. Alright, so it's Tuesday night, and yesterday I was like, ugh, I don't know what I've got to do tomorrow. I didn't do enough research and I don't have a plan, and now I don't know what to do. And so when I woke up this morning, I was pretty much in the same mindset. I don't know what I'm going to do now. Anyway, and then I just didn't really feel like doing anything, and I thought, it doesn't look, you're doing something, you're going to the game later on, it's not like you're going to do nothing. But then I still didn't really want to do anything. And when you're traveling by yourself, if you don't want to do something, there's nobody that like pumps you up to do a thing. You know, normally if you're with someone and you're like, you know, they might want to have an early start and you're like, nah, not about it. Or I just don't feel like doing anything, I'm not really in the mood or whatever. The other person pumps you up, and you do the same thing, all right? You pump up the other person, you're like, hey, I'll go get us a coffee and then we can get cracking, right? You do that because, you know, you recognise that everyone's not going to be up at the same time, you know what I mean? But when you're by yourself and you're down, that's it. You just like, I don't know, what the fuck am I going to do? Anyway, eventually I was like, well, firstly, you have to leave this room because you need to get some lunch. And secondly, it's not really like there's places around here where you can go. This is a great location for walking quickly and easily to games at the United Centre, but there's really like nothing else around here. Yesterday, I was going to go to the hockey barn actually after I went out, but it's closed on Mondays. I didn't know that at the time, so luckily I checked. But the bar across the road was open, so I went there, and I'm actually fine going to a bar to eat on my own, have a drink and eat on my own, because the thing about me is, if there is a game on the TV or our TV or multiple TVs, I'll watch it. Almost doesn't matter what sport it is, I'll watch it. Even at home, even when I'm with people, I position myself to be able to look at the TV and be like, yeah, this is a good spot. Which side do you want to sit on? Well, not the side where I can't see the TV. And I'll watch the game, whatever it is, almost anything. And actually, even if it's a game I don't really watch, I'll just still mindlessly stare at it anyway, and that's what I did when I went to the bar yesterday. There wasn't a lot of games on. There was a baseball game on. It was the Padres playing, and I watched that, but I wasn't really watching it. I was just staring at it anyway. So the point of this story is I have to go out because there's not really a lot around here to do, and I thought also I have to try a deep dish pizza because I've been told a few times I have to try a deep dish pizza. So who am I to argue? So I pick out Giordano's because I figure if it's a chain type of setup, they're going to be more likely to be able to sell by like a smaller portions. I don't want like a small pizza because a small pizza, that's probably easier than this, isn't it? This is small, and if it's a thin crust, that's fine, right? But if it's like this, that's not okay. You can't eat that anyway. So you go there and have a lunch special, which is a mini deep dish pizza that you can either get cheese, sausage or pepperoni, and you pick a side that can come with it. There's a couple of salads and some fries that you can choose. So I got the lunch special, obviously, and I asked the server whether it was better with pepperoni or sausage, and she said sausage. So I got sausage and I got a side Caesar, and I got a Goose Island beer to try. This is another local Chicago beer. I had a different Chicago beer yesterday, actually, a wheat one. Anyway, look, it was a small pizza, probably about the size, a little bit bigger than a pie. Also, the dough is different. It's not like a normal pizza dough. It feels more like a combination of dough and pastry. I don't know if that's all deep dish pizzas, because obviously this is the first and only one I've ever had, so I don't know. But and I'm not saying that was bad. It was just different from what I was expecting. That it was a bit more kind of pastry-like than doughy. I guess because it needs a bit of integrity to stand up in the pot. I don't know. Anyway, it was nice, and I think it was a good size. I think if you got those big ones, which in there, like, it serves between 2 to 3 people. So like a pizza this big serving 2 to 3 people, obviously you would look at that in a normal circumstance and be like, what, 2 or 3 people? That's definitely not enough. But when it's this thick, it's definitely enough. Anyway, it was quite nice. I just sat at the bar again. There was no games on. Dr. Phil was on TV. Gross. Anyway, the mistake I made was having a beer with it. That was too heavy. It was too heavy to have the pizza and a beer. But I didn't make the mistake that the guy next to me, he ordered a small one. He'd never had a deep dish pizza either. And it was like a 40 or 45 minute wait on like those ones and a custom one, not on little mini lunch special ones. And when we saw a small one, I was like, is that the size that you ordered? And he's like, I think it is. Because before that he'd said to me, he's like, come back at dinner time, I'll still be here, because it's a massive pizza for like one person. He's like, I don't even know if it's going to fit in the fridge of my hotel. And I was like, I don't know either, bro. I did not order a giant one for that exact reason. Anyway, then when I was there, I thought, well, I should check if there's a Lids around here because I need to get my hat, right? Anyway, there is. There's a Lids just around the corner and another one about 300 metres away if the one around the corner isn't any good. So I go to the one around the corner. It's pretty small, but it has a good enough range. Now, I look at a couple of different Bulls hats. One in a more traditional colourway, obviously a red, black and white version. And I think about getting it because I like it, obviously. The thing is, I have a Bulls cap at home already. It's the golfer style snapback, the new era golfer snapback. And I got it because I couldn't really find the type of hat that I wanted again. I don't really love snapbacks. I get them because they're more commonly available. But the golfer is the first golfer style I've had. Actually, it's pretty comfortable. But when I was at the shop, I was like, they were like $50 to $60. And I thought, yeah, you know what? It's on par with what the Boston and Yankee one was. But I don't love it. What I really do like is this one, right? which is obviously a non-traditional colorway. It's like purple and yellow, and it's got it's more of a maroon than red around the edges, although the very tips of the horns are red. And it's in the clearance section, right? It's $15. $15 for this hat, right? This new era cap, of course. Standard fitted. Got the it's got the same colorway on the NBA patch, and of course, because I'm at Lids, that's right, I got a new monogram. Yeah, when we were doing it, he was like, what do you want? I was like, oh, the gold varsity. I know what I need now, right? Gold varsity, just my initials, that's it. Now, I got the 0.5, and I actually think it might have been able to go to 0.6. When I looked at it in the piece of paper, it looked like it was too big. You can get a 2.1. That was like this. That would have been like this. Can you imagine how obnoxious that is? Look, this is obnoxious enough, but the gold actually ties in very well with the print. Anyway, so get this hat, $15, and this hat, this Mitchell and Ness one, which is also an alternate color. Oh, look at that hat hair, which is also an alternate colorway that don't really have a lot of access to, for the Windy City. That's what it says on the front. It's got a thing on the back. Anyway, this is very comfortable. This is actually a smidge too big for my head, but it was in the clearance section, right? So you get what you get. But what it does mean is that my ears are absolutely wing nutting. But these two hats combined, right, including the embroidery, it's $32. Can you believe that? That's like, when I looked at the converter, I think it was about $52 or something, right? I've paid more for a single hat in Australia. That is just not always the type of hat that I want, but it's just the hat that's available. And I got two hats that I actually want for less than that, and personalised. Anyway, while that was getting personalised, I walked over to Millennium Park. Now, I picked that Giordano's because it's right near Millennium Park, and I thought, I'll go there, eat the pizza, go for a walk. Then I thought, while I was eating pizza, I should get the hat, then I'll go for a walk. Anyway, that park is where the bean is. And I looked online though, and it said that the bean was like, access was a bit restricted at the moment. So I was like, oh great, I'm not even going to be able to see the bean. My mum was really excited about me seeing the bean. Anyway, when I was going past in the Uber, you can see it still, right? It's not, like you can't go up to, I think people obviously normally they touch it, get their own reflection in it, whatever. So you can't do that, but you can get close enough that you can see the reflection of the city on it. I'd never seen a picture of it on a human scale, like with a person standing next to it, because it wasn't really a thing that I was like, oh, I better go do that. It was more of a thing that Mum was like, you got to go, when you're in Chicago, you got to see the beam. When we did the stopover last year, we were hoping to be able to go and have a look at something, but our train was so delayed we didn't have time to do anything. And she was like, we could have go seen the bean. And I was like, yeah, the bean. Anyway, so I didn't know how big it was till I saw it. It was massive, right? So you can still see the reflection of the city in it, even though you're quite far away from it. Well, not that far away from it. Well, obviously heaps further away than when you can touch it. So go there, then go to the amphitheatre that's next to it. Then go back, pick up my hat, then go back down to the park, just look at the beans some more. Actually just sat in the park for a little while because it was really sunny today. It was it wasn't hot, but it was sunny. It was really nice. And then I went down the road a bit more. This is on, it's not Michigan Street. No, I was right, it is Michigan. It's Michigan Avenue. I also did go look at the Chicago Cultural Center. Went in there. That's a public building. You can have a look at some things in there. There's a dome somewhere. I don't know. I I didn't really know what was happening, so I didn't find it and I just left. But that's a thing you can do. Also, the outside of the building is really nice. And then I crossed back on the street and kept walking on the park side. And then there's the fountain, the 2 fountain artworks there.
Fucking missed it when it just came into a new picture. I don't know how you get a photo up there. I think maybe you take a photo of yourself and send it to a place. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know where those faces come from. I should probably look that up, but I won't. And then if you walk down a bit further, then you get to the art museum or the art gallery or Centre for Art. The Art Institute of Chicago is what it's called. That's what you come across. That's the one that's got 2 big lions out the front. But at this stage, I'm pretty tired and I know I've still got to go to the game. So I decided to head back to the hotel to have a bit of a breather, change my shoes before I go to the game. And anyway, so that is what I did today. I did 2 quintessential Chicago things. I looked at the Bean and I ate a deep dish pizza. I did not eat a Chicago hot dog, and I can tell you now it's because I know I won't like it. Anyway, so tomorrow, actually I was going to do it tonight, but it's late now and I don't feel like it. I have to repack my bag, go to the Chicago Bulls shop, buy a thing, then figure out what I'm going to do for the other hours I've got. The difficulty I have is that I'm not in a super convenient location in terms of doing something in the city. Like, I'm only a couple of k's away, or about 4 or 5 k's away depending on what I want to do, but I can't take my bags with me. I can't check them on the train because I've got to transfer at some point that's like 10 minutes. It's a connecting, you get off the train, you get on a bus. So previous advice that we received when we were doing shorter transfers was to keep your bag with you because it can take up to half an hour to get baggage, and if that connection is there, I'll miss the connection. So I can't. Otherwise I would just go in early, check my bags and then do whatever I want for the rest of the day because I don't need the rest of my bags. But anyway, if I came to Chicago again, and I think I would stay in the city proper, because then you can like go and do, like, you know, even if you don't know what to do, you don't feel like doing a thing, you just go downstairs and just be like, oh, left or right, and then you just pick away and you go, and then you stumble across a thing and you have a coffee and you look at it and you go, oh, that looks interesting, I'll go over there. Or somebody says, oh, have you looked at blah blah, and you go, oh yeah, I should definitely go try that. Anyway, that's what I would do. It's easier than, yeah, motivating yourself to go and do a thing if you don't particularly feel like doing a thing. Anyway, I think we can tell we're coming towards the end of the run, right? I'm quite tired. And I am. Like, I thought I started bad actually, because when I was in Denver, I was sick. Couldn't breathe properly. My skin was so dry. My hands were cracking, and even like my skin here on my face was so bad. It was so dry. And I was like, oh yeah, this is what happens when you have a break, right? As soon as you let your body relax, it just starts to like fall to pieces. Like suddenly your shin hurts, your back hurts a bit, your face is like so dry. Anyway, I thought I was like, oh no. But anyway, I picked up, everything was fine. I still had a good time in Denver, but and then but now I'm on this run, I think. I'm looking forward to getting to Houston. I'm looking forward to sunshine, I think, just spending a few days. I actually think I might go to the baseball a couple of days, just sit in the sun and watch a game and eat a hot dog, just a regular normal hot dog. Maybe eat something out of one of them helmets. That's on my list of things. Yeah, I don't have a very mature palate. Anyway, if I do a thing tomorrow, I'll fill it in here. What I did do was go for a quick walk down to the United Centre so that I could go shopping, of course, and with the idea of buying something Bulls related. I wasn't sure what I was going to get because I was just like stumbling around like a loon. Also though, what I did see in there is that the Blackhawks, because this is the shop that's open every day, is a Blackhawks and Bulls shop. There's a different Blackhawks shop on a different level that's open only on game days, but this one, this big store, has got everything in it. And I see there they have game day parks. So I'm like, excellent, I'll see if they've got one for the Wild game. They did not. So I was like, well, all right, they've got all these other ones, but I don't want these other ones. I just want the Wild one. Anyway, so I don't get a park because, again, I don't really need one. But what I do get is a t-shirt. I get a Kobe White t-shirt because, again, I don't know if I have enough t-shirts for like layering, but also now that thinking at the time, if I'm going to Houston and it's going to be warmer, I don't know if I've got enough t-shirts because I got a couple of band t-shirts and a singlet. Like, that's it. I don't really have, and then like some long sleeve. I have a couple of pieces of everything, right? But not I feel like not enough of some of the things that I actually need. So that was the reason that I bought a t-shirt. I bought this Kobe White one though because I quite liked watching him play. Actually, he has this great natural hair that's really voluminous, and when he runs up and down the court, it's got great movement in it. It's really good to watch. Actually, you know when you're just watching a thing and you're like, hey, pay attention. No, his hair is like that. It's like, look at that. That's very nice there. And like I said, I did enjoy watching him play. He's only pretty young too. Anyway, I don't know how I would feel about picking number 0, but I mean, I see a lot of them now. I think that for a while they didn't have them, or maybe in the NFL you couldn't have a 0, but you can in the last maybe year or two. But I don't know how I would feel about being 0. You know what? I don't even know what number I'd pick if I had to pick a number. Yes, I do. 27. Yeah, so I finished packing all of my stuff. I'd split it into 2 bags. I thought, don't even try to do one single bag. The other thing is that even if I can technically fit it all in my suitcase, it becomes difficult to maneuver because the weight distribution is too shitty for the luggage to work properly. So I think just put it in 2 bags, and then they're both much lighter, which is good because when I get on the train, I need to lift my suitcase on, and then I need to lift it up into the compartment. And yes, I do have to lift it myself because it's my bag. Who else is going to lift it for me? Also, I feel like this, if you can't lift it, you can't buy it, right? So I can lift all of my stuff. Love you, miss you, bye.